All right. I've been looking forward to chatting with you again for a couple of years. And how's life been over the last couple of years for you?
Man, it's still going, thank God. You know what I mean?
Yep,
Everything's
yep.
good. Been working really hard. Lucky to say that I'm busy. All good things.
We still haven't gotten you up to Montana. We still got to work on that.
Dream though.
I know, I know. We got
Oh,
to
I
make
bet.
it happen. Got to get it going. So your CD came out, I guess, the last time you and I talked. Um,
Jeez.
Absolutely love that CD. And my afternoon guy, his favorite song that we play is Pink Lemonade, which
Oh, good
I
choice.
know, a great song.
Good taste.
I think I've got 9 or 10 of your songs on rotation.
That's insane. Are you serious?
Yeah,
That's a lot.
yeah. No, it's people love it. It's going so well, and I've commented on
So,
Instagram, so
so good to hear. Well, then good. Hopefully, if we do get to come play in that area, then maybe I'll get to hear some singing. That's pretty rad.
that would be absolutely cool. Allie, Colleen, our guest here. I want to request you've got to do a cover of Jolene, though, just because it rhymes with Colleen.
I know. I used to. I used to obviously do the Nashville cover sets, and of course you couldn't get through a set without doing Jolene. But I've never posted it or something. But we did sell tank tops for a while. That was Allie, Colleen, 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 and on the back it said like Jolene but with a C.
That
So
is awesome. Um, your new song, latest song, While We're Still Friends with Lee Bryce. Take me through this process of how it came about. It's a great, great song.
I've been sitting on this song for a while. Lee and myself and Miss Sarah Bryce, his wife, who has written things like Wildflower and Tattoos and a lot of songs with me, and Stones, the title track of the album. We all sat down to write together in February of 2021,
Mm.
and we wrote this song. And it's just, I think sometimes as an artist, we're always creating characters and we're always writing songs that we think that people need, because it's such a privilege that we have. And I think for a really long time, looking at songs like Well Enough Alone, and not even Well Enough Alone, but like Good as It Gets and Playing House, like from the Stones album. I don't think I realized for a really long time that was me. You know what I mean? So a
Yep.
little bit of a gut punch. But While We're Still Friends is kind of the narrative to me that kind of solidifies all those storylines. And it really recognizes that moment of limbo, right? That we all kind of experience when a relationship is just not going to go, where you wanted it to go and where you intended it to go and all those things. And so While We're Still Friends is a really cool space to get to sit in that spot, and feel every emotion that comes with that, from silence to absolute noise. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
then having Lee come in on it as a feature it was just amazing for me because I've been a fan since I was like 11. You know what I mean? The guy, lovely Bryce. I've been such a fan of him my whole life. And to get to work with him as an adult and to learn from him in every hat, right? I've got to work with songwriting Lee, and I've got to write with producing Lee, and I've got to perform with Lee and experience performing Lee. And what a world, for his vocal to come in and give a second character a voice in this song, where it's kind of like this beautiful, amicable space of, this is not going to work out. I love you. Let's make the most of this while we can. And so that's kind of where our writing process came from. And then led into obviously production and even to performing it live. That was always our intent, was to kind of capture that space.
You know what I love too about your songwriting, and this is the case with a lot of songwriters, is you can display emotions that I feel at, whatever time it is when that song comes out. You're just like, oh my gosh, that hits me here, or it takes me back to this memory. I don't know how you guys do it, but you weave such poetry that makes the average person that doesn't have the ability to songwrite just feel like you're saying exactly what I want to say. And it's amazing how you guys can do this.
Thank you for saying that. I think that's a really special thing about humans that a lot of us don't acknowledge all the time, is we all feel the same,
Mm.
right? Like, all of our traumas are different, all of our experiences are different, all of our lessons are different, our career paths are different, everything like that. We're very unique individuals, but at the same point in time, you know, how I feel from a conversation is the same way that you felt from a different conversation. And I think that that is one of the greatest privileges of a songwriter. Again, just going back to characters, to where we all feel the same, but not everybody's able to articulate that in a way that is also comfortable to set in. You know what I mean? Because talking about yourself is incredibly vulnerable and uncomfortable. And I am lucky to make a career out of talking through my emotions in a way that you think I'm writing about you. And I think that that is just absolutely mind blowing. And I'm so grateful to get to do this.
It's so beautiful too, because it, like I said, I mean, I have trouble speaking in interviews, let alone trying to put my thoughts down on a piece of paper. But with songwriting, it kind of takes you from, you know, we've seen it with you as well as, you know, where you were in that point of your life. And you can hear that in music. You can hear it in songs, especially like yours.
Yeah. And I think, you know, it is kind of a tough place for me to pick and choose, right? What narratives you actually allow out there. And While We're Still Friends was one that I knew the moment that I got in the car after the co-write that I was so proud. And I was so in love with this song. And I knew it was something that needed to be, you know, seen from start to finish. But at the same point in time, I was sitting at 2021 singing about a very beautifully kind, you know, marriage that I was in. And that was a really tough decision for me, to allow a song to save my life and to create a conversation for my partner and I, which I went home that day and had. And we you know, we separated in 2021 and we got divorced after this song. And as tough as that was and as uncomfortable as that was, that's also why we kept it for so long. You know what I mean? Because I really try to not be going through my songs when I'm putting them out, because I think that's the difference between like songwriters and artists in a way. And so when this year rolled around and we got the ability to go on the road with Lee, I was like, this is the time. And just something about it felt right. And it felt healed and it felt good. And it felt like something that I could then go and you know, allow someone else to be this lifeline. And so that's always something that I do like to recognize too. It's like, this song was written for Allie, 100%. Like, this song was written for me. You guys did not cross my mind one time. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then 2024 hits, and it's like, there are so many people that experience exactly what I experienced. And in a very unique way that I experienced, in the sense that it's kind. You know, I know a lot of divorces get nasty and a lot of separations get nasty, and mine was never anything but kind. And just, it took a lot of work, but it was kind. And I thought, they need a song too, you know, because there's every divorce song out there on the planet where we go wreck his truck, you know what I mean?
Right.
But no, there's not a lot that are just rooted in kindness and keep that the whole way through. And so that's also something songwriting wise that I'm very proud of for While We're Still Friends, was it was written in a not so beautiful season, but it remained kind. And I think that that's something to be proud of, because I'm very proud of it.
Oh, you should be. It's a fantastic song. Allie, Colleen, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. She's a Nashville singer-songwriter. Went to Belmont. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. I see. I know my research a little bit.
I did. It'll be my 10th year in this town.
Seriously?
Man. I moved here when I was 17 to go to Belmont University.
Wow.
And 2014. So July will be my 10 years here.
That's crazy. And it's been a ride. And it goes back to what we were talking about with the songwriting is, you know, While We're Still Friends, written 3 years ago while you're going through. But a lot of artists, I mean, that's the same way. You write a song, you might hang on to it for a year, 10 years before it's released. But are you going to write a song about Belmont and your time there?
You know, I have a lot of songs that came out of that season. You know, I mean, the first song that we ever released in 2019, you know, right after, you know, we hit the road for a year after graduation and started releasing music. And it's just this beautiful little song called Work in Progress that I actually hate to this day because I find it so boring. You know what I mean? Because I've started writing all of these really big rock powered like anthem ballads that I love. And then someone requests Work in Progress. And I'm like, okay, I'll play it for you. But that song is just as true today as it was in 2019. And the whole idea is that I'm the best I've ever been, but not the best I'll ever be. And I feel like if that was to summarize Belmont, that's kind of how it would be. Because, you know, I got there so green, and I left there pretty green as well.
Right.
But what a wild place to spend 4 years growing up in an industry that was also safe. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm very grateful for Belmont.
That's still my favorite song of yours.
Oh, I hate that for you.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved the album Stones. I love your new stuff. I love all your stuff. But I'm 48. I'll be 49 in August, and that song still resonates because I'm not as good then or now as I was in the future. I'm still a work in progress. We all are.
Yeah, I can't imagine what happens when you're not. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you're either declining or you've reached perfection. And I'm sorry, but that sounds incredibly boring and also not honest. So
Exactly.
I do love that about Work in Progress, and it is one of the few songs that, you know, we have a lot of relatable Spectrum songs for sure, but Work in Progress, it's funny because I've heard 7-year-olds sing along with it and are like, I don't even know what this means, but this is me. And I have 70-year-olds sing along with it that are also like, I don't know what this means, so this is me. And it's what a beautiful spectrum of life to always be working towards bettering yourself. So that is something I'll always be proud of, but I'm so sorry. That song is boring as heck, for sure.
Allie.
But it's beautiful. It is sonically very pretty.
Give yourself some credit. That's a beautiful song. I love it. Okay, so here's what's in our playlist. We've got that one. While We're Still Friends, Well Enough Alone, Tattoos, Pink Lemonade, Make Me a Man, which I just absolutely love that one.
I love that song so much.
Yes, and
this year specifically, I've gotten a lot of flack for the title, and I think that's silly.
Yes, I agree with you. It's just listen to the words. Don't read it. You can't judge a book by its cover.
It's a good title grabber, though. You know what I mean? Like, people are going to listen to it. They just don't expect it to be a song for my mom.
No, I know. And there was a couple on that CD, Stones, that I thought, this is from personal experience. And you can tell that when you listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stones, I think one that is my favorite, and it's selfishly my favorite because I wrote it by myself, and I don't put out a lot of songs that I write by myself. Usually if I write something by myself, it's strictly like, again, really trying to work through something. Cool, we got it out. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But Blame It on the Weather was one that I sat down at home and wrote it by myself. And I've been looking for her for like ever. And then another one of the songs where I was like, it was me the whole time.
Right.
But I love that song. That's one of my favorites from the Stones album for sure.
Ain't the Only Hell My Mama Raised, Halos and Horns, and then Don't Give Your Heart to a Cowboy.
Those are all good ones.
I know. I love your music. Come on, Allie.
Good choice. Thank you so much.
I'm just going to add everything you put out and just go from there.
I also love Tattoos. Tattoos is my little baby, my little pop baby. I love that song.
Well, how many do you have now?
Like released or that I've
No,
written?
tattoos.
Oh. There's a discrepancy in the count. So,
Uh-oh.
you know, give a few, take a few. But if each arm is one, then I'm going to go with 27.
Okay.
20, I think.
Okay.
The number will be up one next week. Pretty excited. I don't even know what it's going to be yet.
You just booked the appointment and said, I'm getting something.
Not even that. Last year, I got this little spider web on my face at a convention that comes into town every year. It's called Full Moon, and it's a horror convention / tattoo convention, and I love spooky things. I'm a big horror kid. So I'm going again this year, and it's going to be my first year to get like one of those candy machine crank tattoos where you just have to roll for one.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
And you just get a random one, and you can either pay $15 for a respin, or you get what you get. And I'm very excited.
Nice. You got, because the butterfly tattoo, you've had, what, 2-3 years?
Long time. 2020, January of 2020.
Okay. Yep.
But again, you have to remember in the last 5 years, several don't count. You know, like memory-wise, I don't even know what happened in 21 or 23 for some reason.
Right.
You know, we're on a weird time shift since quarantine for me, and I don't even know why. But it feels like it's been a year since I've had it.
Yeah, because the last time we talked, you had gotten it. So yeah, it's been a while. Allie, Colleen, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. All right, so what's in the future for you? What's around the bend for Allie, Colleen?
We just recorded a 5-song EP that we're hoping to print vinyls for this year. Nice. We have the first song up and ready to go master-wise. And that will be the next single that will come out. So everything will come out digitally, 8 weeks apart as the algorithm respects. But then we'll also print the vinyls and sell those at shows all year. So you can get all the songs really early if you go on a show and buy vinyl. So we did the same thing with the Stones album. We printed the whole CD, I think, in April, and all of those songs didn't come out digitally until November. So I'm so excited. We've never done vinyls before, and I can't wait to design it. we're still in the mastering process of a lot of the songs, so it'll be later in the in the spring or in summer or fall when we finally get to print them. But new music that all kind of caters to halos and horns sonically. Like it's all very big, it's all very kind of grunge rock country kind of stuff, which I'm very proud of. We got some songs about Oklahoma. We've got some songs about my family, oddly enough, that I'm a little nervous about, but I'm very proud of them. Got some songs about me. So I'm very excited for that. And we're hoping to just stay busy, just stay on the road this year. We have some tours coming up that we have the opportunity of getting to open for. That will be like kind of released maybe around summer because they're fall tours. But really trying to stay busy. Also just, my horses are lacking discipline, so I need to work on that also. So I need a little time off the road to work with those boys because they're getting a little sour.
I do see the Instagram post of your horses, and yeah, that's what was the one? There was a few weeks ago. You guys got a snowstorm, and it's like the work doesn't end. I mean, I got to feed these guys.
I know, and I hate cold. Like I hate cold so much. I'm growing up in Oklahoma. Like the wind was horrifically cold, but like we didn't get snow like we got here this year. Like it was insane, and it was so nasty, and I hated every moment of it. And it was more so like I just was not prepared to break up like probably 7 inches of ice in the troughs. You know what I mean? Like I'm used to just skimming the top off. Cool. Like that's fine. We can just break off the top. But I was not used to that. That was awful.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you some advice then. When you come to Montana, come in like July and August. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm being honest. If I'm ever going to go this way, it's going to be in summer. I will never travel north ever in the winter again. I am not built for that. No, I've lived in Montana my whole life, and I do not like the cold. I mean, the snow is pretty, but I do not like the cold.
It is gorgeous, and I do love the soundproofing that snow provides, right? Like every environment sounds different when it snows, and I think that's the coolest sensory thing on the planet. But my dream is to have a summer and a winter ranch. Like if I could go, south for winter to maybe like New Mexico or Texas or something, and then trailer the boys back up to Montana or Wyoming or something for the summer, that's my absolute dream. But we'll see what this lady achieves because it's going to be big.
Well, I can help take care of the horses in up here too. So,
okay, deal.
It's spring break, so my little one she'll be 6 in May, and she's hanging out with us today. So,
what is her name?
Her name is Winnie.
Hi, Winnie.
She says hi. She was named after, much like you, she was named after her great grandmother. So
beautiful.
With your
I love that.
grandma Colleen there, but
Yeah.
All right,
everyone always asks me if I'm an Allison, and my great grandpa was named Allie. So I've got Allie, and then I've got Grandma Colleen. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and her middle name is named after my mom. So we've got that connection.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Allie, Colleen, our guest here, Jaywalk in the Mornings. All right, so I know I'm allowed one question, but favorite bar?
Golden ticket.
The golden ticket. I'm not using it yet.
All right.
What's your favorite bar to play in Nashville?
Oh, Scoreboard.
Okay.
Scoreboard. I opened up the Scoreboard patio when they first kind of opened it. I mean, it had been open, but when they really started vamping their live music scene on the patio. Anyone who travels to Nashville, you're not going to find Scoreboard on Broadway. You're going to have to go find it. But it's over by Opryland. And a lot of historical Nashville is where Scoreboard at. Randy Travis was a busboy at Scoreboard.
Wow.
Really young, and then his whole band Organic Country played there with me on Saturday nights right after me for about 5 years. I got to play there. Now I'm just a barfly. And I'm usually just not, you don't want to talk to me if you see me there now, I can promise you that, or you do, it's one or the other. But I'm a barfly there now. I actually get to play there tonight for a really short set just because somebody canceled on them, and I was like, I'll show up.
Well, why not?
But I will always shout out Scoreboard Bar and Grill. That is my home here.
That is fantastic. When are you opening your bar? Because there's a lot of country artists opening bars in Nashville.
Do you know what my bar would be?
Tattoos.
Oh, that's even better. It's an even better idea than what I had.
Well, it's yours.
So much better. We played the Machine Shop in Flint, Michigan, and I asked them why they don't have a tattoo artist in their bar because the whole place looks like a tattoo parlor. Oh. And they said that you cannot tattoo legally in a place where you also have a liquor license. So that's why my bar would not be tattoos if that's still the thing. But there's there's a couple of bars like this. There's nothing like this in Nashville. I don't know how we do it, but there's like a bar in Arizona that has like actual live bull riding there and like actual live rodeo events. And sometimes on the weekends you can pay $10 as a nobody and just get on a bull. That would be my bar.
Halos and
I
horns.
don't want a mechanical bull. I want a bull, and it would be halos and horns.
See, we're on the same page here.
Mm-hmm.
You could have a couple of different levels, tattoos in one, halos and horns, bulls. It'd be like a cross between like the mechanic shop and then Billy Bob's.
It'd be so sick. I don't know how they did it, but for Halloween this past year, Acme Feed and Seed, like on Broadway downtown, had a big Halloween party. And maybe because it was a private event, but they had a big Halloween party, and I got tattooed there that night on the rooftop of Acme. So I know there's a way to
That
like
is
blend.
awesome.
I just have to logistically find out how and consider it done.
That is so cool. Allie, Colleen, our guest here, Jaywalk in the Morning. A couple final questions for you. But you mentioned the mastering of songs, and it's always intrigued me because you go from the singer or the songwriting, and then the fixes that come after it, the changes, add the music, everything that goes along with it. You record it, get the sound right. I mean, this is a long process. How long does it take to get something mastered?
It really depends on, for me at least, it always depends on more of the producer's schedule than mine. And in my case, I tend to pick producers that are also mixers as well. So the mixing process is still live within the producer, so he can get it done at the same time, right? Opposed to then a mixer and a producer having to schedule their time together. And I'm obviously there sitting on the couch. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm there. I'm like, it sounds good. Doesn't sound good. That's all I know. But I would say, because the songwriting to recording studio vibe, like that's completely on you and how confident you are that you want to record the song, and if you have the money to record it is always the big separation between when you write and when you record. But as far as when you record and then when it's mastered, I mean, you can do that in, I would say, in like for a healthy ear and a healthy lifestyle for everybody, probably like maybe 3 weeks for one song, to really like dive into it and mix it appropriately and get all of your overdubs done and everything like that and sing. The world of TikTok though now, you know, is writing a 30-second chorus, putting it out, hoping it goes viral, writing the rest of it while you're recording it because you're just going to record on a loop almost, you know what I mean? And a lot of songs that are being released right now by independent artists are not being mastered, because it's just a step in the payment process that kind of younger artists don't really understand the value of, because mastering was kind of originally placed for like radio, you know what I mean? And like radios where like you're loading them into, I don't know what the proper word would be, like channels, I guess maybe, that like are playing them from each different station. Because mastering is almost more of like a volume thing, if I understand it right. So it's a real messy world and everybody does it differently. But for these 5 songs, it's going to take us about probably 2 more months of mixing and mastering to get the next 4 done. We already have 1 done, but it's probably going to take another 2 months.
Okay. Allie, Colleen, our guest here, Jaywalk in the Mornings, Jason Walker Show. All right. You have to listen to this radio station I got. It's internet only, so I'm allowed to play literally anything. And Bev Mosier, your PR, has been fantastic.
Beverly!
She's
getting a plate and 4 screws in her ankle as we speak right now.
Oh,
so you
goodness.
Some thoughts out to Beverly. I think she slipped on a banana peel, but she's going to be fine.
What a great label you or PR firm you're with too, because I mean I mean, Exile, Dallas Remington's great. There's so many great ones that they promote. Tell me about Rob Wolf, because he's from my neck of the woods, Livingston, Montana.
Is Rob on Bev's PR team?
He is.
You're going to have to forgive me. I don't know.
Oh.
Bev represents everyone, it seems. Bev represents, the people that I know the most that Bev represents would be like Jeannie Seeley and John Barry, Dallas, because I've written with Dallas and we have songs out together. But Bev runs that entire ship on her own. It's not, as much as it's a PR company, it's just Bev.
Yeah.
And she is just a freaking horse. Like, she works harder than anybody that I know. I am lucky to have Bev as my manager. So Bev is my manager, my tour manager, my publicist, my best friend, my drinking buddy. I love that woman, and she has done so much for me. Bev gave me my first show in 2020 or in 2014 when I moved to town.
Wow.
She put me on a radio showcase, and she loved what I did. And she said, do you want to work together? And I said, I have a deal with my family that we really value education, and I'm in college right now, so I just started, and I have to get a degree before I really pursue this as a business that would distract me from school. So I'm not ready yet. And she said, all right, well, when you are, let me know. And I remember shortly after graduation, maybe a month, probably less than that, Bev was right there. And she goes, you ready? And I said, let's go. Let's do this. And we have been together since.
That is fantastic. And yeah, I love Bev. She is just the emails I get from her, like, hey, you want to talk to this person? And I love it's because
he's so good at it.
Yeah, and I got to talk to John Barry. Him and his wife both, they were fantastic.
Their whole family's amazing. For quite a long time, his son, Kalen, who is, in my opinion, one of the greatest drummers out there, was on the road with me for almost 5 years,
Wow.
played with me. So we were all really close, and it was amazing, and that's just a good family.
Yes. Speaking of families, Toby Keith, I want to get your thoughts on him being from Oklahoma. I know the family knew him really well.
I do not know them personally by any means. And I played a show with Crystal a very long time ago. And she was very kind to me. But I can tell you this, my greatest fear in life since I was a kid would be the day that I lose my dad and have to hear from the entire nation how it affects them. Mm-hmm. So I walk really carefully on this line because I do not know this family. So all I'm going to say is that I'm so sorry that you lost a husband and your dad and a grandpa and a friend. And I can't imagine. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you how it affects me because it never will the way that it affects me. And I'm so sorry.
You bring up the dad. Here's the golden ticket. How is the family? How is the G-Man? How does he keep doing it at 64 years old or whatever he is now?
Oh, I don't know. I don't have a clue. I love Garth, right? Big fan.
Yeah.
That's not my dad, Mm-hmm. My dad, just like Mr. Toby Keith, a completely different human, I would imagine, when you are a father, right? Or a husband or a grandpa. So I, as a fan and someone who has watched that man as a fan my whole life, that man runs off M&Ms and Dr. Pepper. I don't know how he does it. I really don't. He's the most athletic man I've ever seen in my life. Health-wise, everyone is good. Everyone is great. That man will work until the day that he doesn't do anything anymore. That's all he knows. That's what he's great at. And I'm so proud of him. But I don't have a clue how he keeps doing his thing. But I hope he never stops.
I'm a girl dad. I got 2 daughters, 1 son who's in the Army in Hawaii right now. But give me some advice being a girl from a girl dad's perspective.
I don't know. It's tough because I like to think there's a lot of things that women, learn on their own and through their life that should not have to do with their father. But that's not the case. It really is the first fundamental relationship, if you're lucky, mm-hmm. that you have with a man. You know what I mean? And I think just the thing that I thank my dad for the most was teaching me how to work my butt off, and valuing that. And I mean, my dad I have 2 older siblings and we're a girl family. And when we were really young, I mean, I spent my 12-year-old summer building a 75-foot compression bridge with this man. And it was only us 3 and him. He didn't bring a single man to the job site because he didn't need one.
Right.
And I think that would be the coolest thing, as a young girl, is to never have jobs filled for you by men that you can do. And there's nothing that your daughters can't do. You know what I mean? There's stuff that they need to be taught and stuff that they need help with. But I was never treated like a girl. I was never treated like a boy. I was treated like Allie, who worked her butt off and was kind of funny sometimes. You know what I mean? So I think that there's such an importance in being a girl dad as there is in being a boy dad, But I don't know. But I know that I was raised in kindness and love and support. And if you're doing all those things for your daughters, I think you're crushing it.
Well, I appreciate that. I like to think I am. You met the one, so she's.
Don't let you know.
I expect a song, maybe a Winnie title.
Winnie.
I don't know,
I
even
love
know.
that.
Yeah, Winifred, but yeah, she's the best. Before I let you go, can you do me a quick favor and say you're listening to Jaywalk in the mornings on Continental Divide Radio?
You're listening to Jaywalker in the mornings on Continental Divide Radio, right?
Yep. Perfect. Or maybe say your name.
Right.
Yeah.
I gotta memorize that part first, though. I got my name down sometimes. You're listening to Jason Walker in the morning on Continental Divide Radio, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool. Hey, you guys, this is Allie, Colleen, and you're listening to Jason Walker. See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Jason Walker, what? On Continental Divide Radio?
Jason Walker in the mornings.
In the mornings.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Hey, you guys, this is Allie, Colleen, and you're listening to Jason Walker in the mornings on Continental Divide Radio.
Perfect. You are the best. I absolutely love this. Don't be a stranger. You've got my number, so if you figure out a song for Winnie, let me know. And
I will.
yes. Man, I appreciate it. Thanks, Bev, as well. And
Yeah, Beverly, she just texted me. She's out of surgery, and she does not feel great. So,
I'm sure.
again, guys, send out your love to Bev. Send her some good energy. And thank you again, Jason. Always enjoy it. And I look forward to next time.
Yeah, let's not be strangers this next time, though. Let's yeah.
Winnie, have a good day, babe.
You too. We'll talk later.
Bye.